Morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Bunny Says. Well, for me, it's morning anyway. It's a wintry morning. Quite cold. It's at the last chapter, so I'm assuming this is the last chapter. So, this is the Town of Light. Thank you for joining me. I guess we'll be seeing what happens at the end of the story now, so when we continue on and finish off and see what happens. I'm interested in seeing what happens myself. Okay. I'm sorry, I just want you to see the loading up music and the loading up sound, and it's really quite ominous a lot of the times. See, as you can tell, it puts you in a certain mood, so it's not just like you just suddenly appear and... Now we're back here and we just... Apparently they gave us electroshock therapy. They seem so primitive, but... You know, I look at them now and I start thinking... You ever see the paddles that people put on for how people have a heart attack, and they put the paddles on the sides, and you know they put them on there and they rub the gel and then they stick them on there and they thump them. They're not much of an evolution of that, really. I mean, look at them. They're just two paddles. Instead of sticking them on the chest and the side, you know, for the heart, they just stuck them on their head, basically. So that just goes to show you that sometimes things, you know, more they change, the more they stay the same, right? What were we doing?
Montefoscoli, December 20th, 1941. Dear Director, could you please let me know how my daughter, your patient Renee T., is getting along? I've written to my daughter several times, but have received no reply. I'm very worried, particularly as I've been ill for some time and have not been well enough to come and visit her. Please kindly let me know when it will be possible for me to bring my daughter home. Your humble servant, Ada T. Bring this letter to the attention of Dr. C so he can assess the potential discharge of the patient.
Not delivered. It makes me wonder why they didn't deliver it, if they were purposely not delivering these, or they just looked at them and thought, well, these people aren't ready yet, or something, or, you know, in their opinion, they were like, well, these people aren't even near ready to be able to do anything, so why bother, you know? What's this?
September 7th, 1938. The patient frequently indulges in recriminations expressed in an explosive tone of voice. This morning she threw away the milk, saying it was full of urine, spittle, and all kinds of other filth. Crazed, she hears voices that order her to do things. She says she heard children singing and that they were locked up in a school. January 20th, 1939. Introverted, dazed, cannot focus on anything. When questioned and stimulated, she starts crying and weeping. At other times, she laughs. June 1st. Apathetic. Eats very little. She refuses to be touched. Does not respond. Spends her time in the grounds. The cooks report that she sits on a bench in front of the kitchens. October 14th. Return of impulsive behavior. This morning she asked for 2 eggs to make zabayoni, but when she got them, she threw them up in the air. Excited, clamorous, slightly confused, takes her clothes off. December 8th, tied to bed for 15 days.
15
High-spirited,
days.
tends to make witty comments and use vulgar words, laughs hysterically and pleasures herself. The nurses report that about 2 weeks ago she remained in the showers on her own and didn't want to leave. They said that when they took her away, she swore at them and then lashed out and bit them. 2 nurses had to be treated for their injuries. They've kept her tied to the bed since then. Transferred to the slightly agitated ward, from the care of Dr. B to the care of Dr. C. I was with Amara in the showers. My memories are terrifying. They're not real, are they?
Oh man. Yeah, they're just a figment of my imagination. I have a choice here. A is, yeah, they're just a figment of my imagination. B, what reality we're referring to. And C, memory is what you are, whether it's real or not. I don't know what reality we're referring to. I don't know if it's the memories in her mind or what really happened.
December 15th. Dr. C. Patient notes. The abnormality of her psychic state has induced her to lead a life which is irregular and tends towards delinquency. Of fickle and flighty character, she regularly discards her household duties and engages in occasional prostitution. Prostitution? Me? No, I don't think I could have. Or are my memories deceiving me?
She was saying
What other
before
horrible
that she
things
did
could I
things
have done without even realizing?
like that.
The uncertainty, the fear of my own actions was one of the things that tormented me most. Her mental deficiency makes her deaf to the reprimands of her family. She has shown suicidal tendencies. She was brought to the ward yesterday, agitated and hysterical. Treated with cardiazol, 2 injections a week for 5 weeks. They were only trying to confuse us with the therapy, and my God, they succeeded. It was as if they wanted to instill the madness into us.
I don't think so. I'm starting to wonder if she was... Excuse me. We have a choice here. A was the only treatment they could try. B, there were so many of you. What could they do to manage that hell when there were so few of them? The ends are, and C, the ends always justify the means for those who wield power. I don't know, I think there's just so few of them. I don't know how they could
The
cope with
therapies removed
everything.
the light for a while, but also all her will, desire, and hope.
Oh my God, there's more. Okay, A, the important thing was to keep us quiet. B, to a certain extent they were trying to make you feel better. You were lost souls. And C, the therapy was terrible and painful, but it was the only treatment that existed. I think they were trying to make us feel better to a certain degree, but I think the therapy was the only one that existed. I mean, I don't think they knew anything other than, wow. I think they were trying to help us, but it's the only treatment that existed.
It was torture, but we had no choice. Nobody explained anything. No one tried to help us understand. We were like farm animals.
Oh man. You were too many and they were too few. It was impossible to do otherwise. B. They also had their nightmares within these walls. They didn't know what to do with you. And C. You were damned, dangerous, condemned souls. Who could have taken care of you? I think they also had terrible nightmares in these walls. And I don't think they knew what they do with people. I don't think they knew how to change things.
After a long period of calm and improvement, the patient is very agitated and vehemently refuses to submit to a gynecological examination. She swears and curses those helping her, flailing her arms and hitting them. According to reports by Dr. B, the patient has been subjected to periodic checkups since she had a spontaneous abortion about 2 years ago in her 3rd month of pregnancy. Conception occurred after she had sexual intercourse with a stranger who sneaked into the hospital grounds. Details are contained in the charges filed at police headquarters in Volterra, a copy of which is attached to these clinical notes. ES therapy. A spontaneous abortion? It's not true. I can't believe it. How could I have invented things if I didn't even know what they were doing to me?
Well, A, it really happened. They made you have an abortion, but it was illegal, and so they reported it as a random incident. B, that's a lie. What is written here might be false, or just the wrong way of looking at things. C, perhaps Renee really did know. You can't be sure of it. You know that, don't you? Then did they really make her have an abortion? And then I think they faked it.
And the stranger in the grounds? I don't remember. Was that another lie?
Yeah, that was the
Or was another memory
think.
removed? God, my head.
I think that was an orderly. A, who knows? We'll never know. B, there are a lot of things you don't remember, as if you hadn't done them. And C, it wasn't you. Perhaps it was her, the other Renee. You know she does those things. No, it's the other Renee. There are a lot of things you don't remember as if you hadn't done them.
June 13th. The nurses report that she descended into a state of great mental confusion after receiving her mother's letter. She threw her soup over another inmate because she was very anxious, and then punched a nurse. Impulsive, flails about her. She rails against the doctor in vulgar terms while he is examining her, lashes out and spits. Block all correspondence to give the patient no further reason to become agitated. August 20th, tied to bed. The nurses report that the patient is extremely agitated after the visit of a relative or family friend. 2 days later, she is still shouting all the time that he commands her, that she must obey and harm herself, and that she is not Charlotte. All visits forbidden, constrained to bed, and intensification of ES therapy until we achieve results. Calm down. You must be calm. Don't get agitated. We'll make you calm down. Is that the only thing that matters? Is tranquility worth the price of not living?
Wow, okay, so we have hundreds of us agitated, squeezed into the most inadequate of spaces. Staying calm was essential for our well-being. B, what alternative was there? In any case, it was a life not worth living. See, certainly not, but at least that way from outside everything seemed more acceptable. Okay. What alternative was there? Hundreds of us had. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Hold on. Hold on a second, please. Alright, give me 1 second, please. I'm gonna have to stop this right here for a
March
moment.
3rd. Alert, correct attitude, replies when questioned. The nurses report that the patient is calm. She washes and looks after herself. She affirms the existence of a certain Amara. She says that Amara is a patient who disappeared when she was moved to this ward. No confirmation. Probably a regressive hallucination. Evaluate transfer. Did I imagine Amara? That's not possible. She was there. I know she was there. I feel it. She must have left some traces of her presence.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's my fan, and I have to do something about it. The fan in my thing. So I'm going to have to stop here for a moment, and we'll start up again in a minute, okay? Please give me a moment. Thank you.